Hello everybody, welcome to my latest video on Towers of Ergazber. Now this is to talk about the hotfixes that have taken place since edition 10 or update 10 was released. Obviously that released with a few issues on all platforms. PlayStation experienced quite a few issues with water disappearing, etc. Not only that, I wanted to update a few things that was raised in my update 10 video. First of all, the planting rows. I said that I couldn't work out why these had been included, because if we go to any place on the map, for example, we can plant any sort of seed here, and that includes crops. Now, obviously I was looking at these, which are decorations, and saying, well, what's the point in them then? The point is, you can plant crops through them. So if I go here, and I go to plant my seed, I can actually plant it within the furrows. Now obviously with these it fills the furrows in, but with my crops, carrots here, it doesn't. So I'm going to have to remove that apex oak, because that is big. But anyway, yeah, so these actually do make sense. They are a very good addition, and if you find somewhere that doesn't have quite as much foliage growing, you're going to have some quite nice looking crop areas. Now on to the first of the fixes. In my update 10 video, this was just a kind of a funny shimmery opaque mess. Couldn't see through it at all, and it was perfectly flat. You kind of just saw all of these creatures flying in and out of that grey shimmery mess. Now as you can see, it looks really nice. Underneath the water is absolutely gorgeous, and when you look up you can see that it does look like water. All very lovely. Now this isn't the only water in the game that had problems though. But I'm happy to say that the ocean also got fixed. So we now have lovely ocean back, whereas before this would just show all of the land beneath and there would be no water itself. Also, you'd kind of like have a grey body where it wasn't rendering the water correctly. Now this has been fixed and you do have nice ripples, and obviously underwater is just as lovely as in the lakes. The last part of water updates though have also been fixed. So again, we've got lovely water. We don't have ripples in this, but I think it's too shallow. But it still does look really nice. We've got the lovely effect on the surface, and I don't know, I think it still looks really good. Now, another thing that was missing when Update 10 first came out was all of the artifacts within the museum. These are now back, so they had disappeared, they're now all back. It's quite loud in here. All of these chests are new, so when you complete one of your artifacts now, you do get a reward chest, which is quite nice. You don't just get the artifact, so again that's an improvement as far as I'm concerned. Also, chests in general within the world have been made to look much better. Now when I first showed update 10, I had only just got the second mount. I now have all of them, so I can show you them all. So if I quickly summon Bararu, so the Bararu is the largest of the mounts, and I managed to summon him into the shed of all things, which is not helpful. So I need to go far enough away that he now comes to me. There we go. So we have the Bararu. This is Subabo, and he is brilliant in my opinion. Absolutely love him. So this is, I mean, he's relatively rapid for a large beast, but if we speak to, oh, that's not good. I've just placed Bararu on top of the rancher. So if we go back to the rancher, we can speak to him, and we can switch mount. Now, if you pre-ordered the game, you will have a Siku Harlup, and that is basically the panda look. The Harlup we've already seen, so the Harlup is the one that is, or Harlupe, however you want to say it, is the one that's wandering around all of the biomes, or the temperate biomes. The Siku is the black and white one from my playthrough. And the Juvor, which is the other new one. If I swap to the Juvor, now I have unlocked it. And go over here and summon. We have this lovely Juvor here, Spiru. And the Juvor is like an ostrich. Runs ridiculously quickly. So if you like your fast mounts, the Juvor is the one to go for. Especially if you like to launch yourself off into the distance. But I'm going to go and get my Barari back. There we go. Now, other fixes that we have on the map, so if we go into the map, we have all of these stars. Now, these stars indicate things that you can interact with. But when we go on our mini-map, we actually now have correct icons for all of the vendors. So we have the Kip vendor, or the gold merchant I should say here. We have a mask vendor, who is just up these stairs. But we also have more vendors as well. So, mask vendor here. We obviously have the barber, who's always been there. If we go over here though, we have two down below. So we have one here which is weapons and tools, and we have one here which is items. And these we can actually use for target practice. So we can start finding how good we are with the bow. So they've started adding much more into the game as far as interaction. I'm hoping this is an indication that they're going to be adding new areas and things like that, which they have stated they will be doing, but they want to make sure that what they've got currently is working as well as it can, and I applaud them on that. Let's get what we have as good as it can possibly be, and then we can upgrade, update and add more as it goes. What they've changed so far does almost warrant another playthrough, so I will consider doing that after I finish my Small Land playthrough. The only other real big change is the inventory system. Now, the inventory system previously was everything was lumped together, and obviously the more you carried, you eventually got to the stage where you couldn't carry anything else. They've now split it out into multiple different tabs, which I went through in my first look at the update 10. The price for upgrading and unlocking new spaces is relatively steep, but it's cheaper to begin with, but it does get relatively steep later on. Now, interestingly, when you go to the mining village, there is, instead of a gold merchant, there is a Kip merchant, I believe. There's also a seed trader at the starting farming town, so there's always a trader who can trade something for Kip or Kip for something. In this case, you can get Kip by scrap metal and gold bars. There's ones where you can get it through gold dust and scrap at the mining town, and as I say, you can exchange seeds and fruits and veggies for Kip as well. So there are ways of getting it other than just mining and things like that. Overall, I think the hotfixes that they have released so far really have done the job. It's a much better experience than it was, and the game in general is much better than it was on launch, and if they continue the way they are doing, then this is going to be a no-brainer. To be honest, it almost already is. So if you like the survival genre, it's definitely worth considering, even though it is survival light. You don't need to eat and drink, which I have mentioned before, but I suppose I should mention again. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there, so thank you as always for watching. It really is appreciated. Please make sure you do click the like button, subscribe if you are new, because both of those things really do help the channel. Please leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think of the video. Also let me know what you think of Towers of Gasper. Like I say, I personally really like it, and for such a small development team I think they've done an amazing job. And I really hope you do join me in my next video. So, thank you. You all take care. Bye for now.